I'm Taylor. I'm 30 years old. When I was 13, my life changed forever. When I was 13, I had my first seizure. As things went on, I started getting more diagnoses. Now it's not just the seizures, it's fainting disorders, insomnia, chronic pain disorders, autoimmune diseases. I lost a lot over those years. I lost a lot of friends who thought I was either flaky for having to cancel last minute or who thought that I was faking it and being dramatic for attention. For the first few years, it's really easy to have faith. Everybody's got a cure, and at first that's great because you've got this whole world of opportunities. But then life goes on. And this common big C church toxic rhetoric is that if you have enough faith, you'll be healed. So as time goes on and I'm not healed, you're left there in tatters wondering, what did I do? What did I do that was so bad that no matter how hard I pray, no matter if I do everything right, I am still sick? When that happens, you are opened up to the predators of the world because you don't have that identity that God has given you. And so when I was 18, I met a very charismatic, supposedly Christian 24-year-old. I didn't just step into that relationship. I closed my eyes and I jumped. I was finally, I think, starting to realize that something was wrong, that it wasn't supposed to be this way. For the first time, I couldn't hold back the scream. As I was screaming, my mouth was covered so no one could come help me. Screaming out to God in my head, like, I need you to make this stop or I need you to let me die because I cannot take this anymore. Like, what did I do, God? What did I do to deserve this? And I'm feeling so much shame. God swept in and I felt him more than I have ever felt his presence. I felt God in this physical way that I have never felt before. It was so strong that his presence in that moment to me was undeniable. The emotions that I was experiencing, the anger, the pain, the frustration, the fear, I felt God, I felt his emotions with me stronger than my own were. I felt that he was sorrier about what I was going through than even I was myself. That night carried me through a lot of pain. A few months later, I started dating another very charismatic man. Then on December 17th, 2013, my dad died suddenly of a heart attack. And on December 19th, 2 days later, this boyfriend assaulted me with my family and my friends sleeping yards away from me. I couldn't feel anything but shame. I went through a very dark emotional period. I had learned during this time that hardening my heart was the best way to protect myself. The more you harden your heart, the harder it is for people to hurt you. And the harder it is for people to hurt you, the more impenetrable you are, the stronger you are. At least that's what I told myself. And then I wake up one morning and I realize that this hardened heart hasn't just prevented me from feeling pain, but from accepting love and accepting joy. Now I am learning to soften my heart towards God, to soften my heart towards people, but I'm still building that trust. And I did not know where to begin with that, because how do you trust a God that let all of this happen? To soften my heart towards him, I had to know him. I did this by remembering the story in the Gospels where there's a storm raging around in this boat. The disciples are in a boat. All of a sudden, Jesus is like, calm down. And the disciples are like, because it calms down. And I love that because afterwards they go, what kind of man is this, that even the wind and waves obey him? So I asked myself this question and have the journal entry. What kind of man is this? As I ponder, I know. This is a man who thought I was worth dying for. This is a man who forgives me in every moment of faithlessness. This is a man who holds me on the nights my pain is overwhelming. This is a man who comforts me when the grief is too much to take. That's great. But then what about the times that I start doubting? Because it's not easy. It's not easy when you are in a constant state of suffering. I had to learn that it was okay to have my doubts. I had to pray and have Jesus speak to me and tell me, this is how you know me better. You know, when your faith is shaken, but you still decide to take the step to know me, that's how you get to know me. And it all goes back to he who seeks finds. So I continued then. So when I doubt, I will do my best to remind myself, even in this he is good. Even in this, he tends to my pain. Even in this, he is faithful and just. Even in this, his promises are true. For God is faithful, and this time will be no different. And when that's not enough, when I still feel I cannot believe, when I want to be close to him but can't fully trust him, then I'll give him the same brutally honest words as the man in the New Testament whose daughter needs healing. Lord, help me overcome my unbelief. My goal in life is not just to survive or to push through or drag myself through all of this. It is to come to know Jesus in such a way that when people look at me, all they can see is him.